Very good morning to all of you. So today, in today's session, we are going to discuss about decision making. In our day-to-day life, decision making plays a very important role. We take decision even from for the smallest thing which we do on daily basis, or it is again related to the big decisions which the organization take, or we as an individual for a business, for a startup, for our enterprise we take. So decision is something which is an internal part of our day-to-day life. So today we'll be discussing about what is decision making and how decision making is very important. So if we talk about the definition of decision making, so decision making is an art of selection or choice of one action from several alternatives. So this line itself make it very clear that we have many alternatives, we have many options, and from those options, from all the available options, we are selecting, we are choosing one action, one option which we will be using. For example, if I talk about our career, we have so many different streams, right? We have art, commerce, science, math, science, biology. Then if we enter into these streams, if we are somehow able to decide that where we want to go. So if we enter into these streams, again, these streams have many branches. Like if we talk about commerce, it can be you want to do CA, you want to do CS, you want to do CFA, you want to do ICFA, you want to do MBA, you want to do BBA in honors, you want to do BCom in honors, you want to do BBA, and if you're selecting BCom in honors, then which honors you want to do? Same as engineering. If I want to go for BTech, so in BTech, which stream you want to select? Which field you want to select? For arts, which field, which stream you want to select? So in a day life, we keep on making decisions for different things. So we have many alternatives and we are selecting one alternative from all of them. So it can be defined as a process of selecting a right and effective course of action from two or more alternatives for the purpose of achieving a desired result. It is the essence of management. So whatever decision we are selecting, we have a purpose that yes, we are going to achieve something from it. We are going to reach to our desired result if we are going to select this alternate. For example, if we are going to select CA as a career option, so the result, the desired result is we are going to be chartered accountant after completion of this course, maybe after 4 years, we are going to be the chartered accountant. So this is how we take the decision and we want some desired result. We want to achieve some result when we are selecting one best alternate. So it is the essence of management. Now, if we talk about organization, they have to go through decision making at each and every step of their life. From the time they start hiring their candidate, they need to select, they may need to make a decision about the right selection of the talent. Once the candidate is selected, once he start working, they need to decide what work should we delegate to that person. Once that is done, they need to come up with the policy. They need to decide, like if someone is performing extraordinary, if someone is coming up with their 100% performance, more than expected performance, the performance is increasing day by day. So in that case, what reward we are going to give? That is again a decision. It's going to be monetary reward, it's going to be bonus, it's going to be promotion. Then we need to decide how we are going to promote the employees. What bonus we are going to give at the end of the year? Do we give them any kind of shares, or will give them monetary benefit, or will give them any gift vouchers? So all these things are related to making decisions at each and every step of the process. So decision making is an internal part which no one can remove. We as an individual, if I talk about very small daily things, for example, if you have 5 different dishes in front of you, you need to decide which dish you want to eat. You want to go out for a party, you need to take a decision regarding what you are going to wear. It can be related to the color, it can be related to what type of clothes you're going to wear. It's going to be Western, Indo-Western, traditional, what you want to wear, modern. So again, there is decision for each and everything. If you talk about just one decision of your life, one decision which you take, for that, for achieving that goal, you might have taken several different decisions. So there are different leaders who have defined, authors who have defined decision making in different languages. So according to P.F. Drucker, whatever a manager does, he does through making decision. He is saying that whatever a manager is doing, he simply believes that all the matters related to the planning, organizing, direction, coordination, control are settled by the manager. And for all these things, the manager keep on taking decision from time to time for the performance, for the betterment of the organization, for increasing the performance of the employees, for making them work towards the goal of the organization, for making them work with the ethics, with the culture which the organization is having, for making them work in that direction also. So the decision, the manager is a person, the management is a person who keeps on taking decision at every stage of their life. Second says, it is the selection of one behavior alternative from two or more possible alternatives. So as per George Terry, he is saying that it is selection of one's behavior. Now he's saying a person is not selecting, not making any decision related to what alternatives he is having. He is selecting one thing on basis of his own behavior. What behavior he holds, according to that, what beliefs he have, on that basis, he'll be choosing one possible alternative from all the alternatives available to him. Third, by D.E. McFarland, he says that it is an act of choice wherein an executive forms a conclusion about what must be done in the given situation. So he is saying that it is act of choice. It is choosing. He is analyzing. The person who is taking the decision, he is analyzing the situation. And he just want to come to the conclusion. So for getting that conclusion, what need to be done? He's going to select that thing. On that basis, he's going to select the best possible alternative. He's going to make the choice where it helps the executive to form a conclusion, to come to a conclusion. For example, conclusion can be the achievement of the result, can be the completion of the task, can be setting the deadline, but whatever it is, the executive will form a conclusion, and for that purpose, he is going to choose the best alternative which he thinks will be suitable for reaching the conclusion. Different but interrelated implication of decision making. Though they are different, but they are somewhere interrelated. The three things are there. The first is where the manager makes a decision, they exercise choice, right? When they're making a decision, they are choosing. They are choosing one best alternative from all the other alternatives which are available to them. This decision is dependent on when making a decision, the manager will face with alternative. So it is again dependent on the alternatives. The manager gets very many different alternatives, right? So it is based on this. The selection process, the decision process is completely based on the alternatives which the manager will be getting. So when taking a decision, the manager have a purpose. Now, the decision-making choice, the alternatives, both of these things are dependent upon the choice, upon the purpose which the manager is supposed to from each other. Like the purpose is completely different. It's going to be independent. Then again, the alternatives available is going to be again independent thing. Decision is again an independent thing. But these three are related because if there is no purpose, alternatives will not be there. If there are no alternatives, decision won't be taken. So these three are different also, but somehow these three things are interrelated to each other when it comes to decision making. Now, what is the importance of decision making? This person just took the decision to become the astronaut. Yes, he is flying. He is there. So he took some decision, right? He took some decision. He took the decision to pursue his goal. He took the decision to become astronaut. He took the decision to go there. So all these things are again the part of decision which he has taken. Now, why decision making is important? Goal, strike the goal, the achievement of the goal, to achieve your goals and objective. Decision making is an important tool. So, for example, the first thing, the achievement of goals and objective. Under this, it says it is important in achieving goals of the organization in given time and budget. So there are two different things. Two, we need to achieve the goals of the organization, but there is always a deadline and there is always the budget set, allocated budget and the allocated time. With these two things, we need to achieve that thing. We need to achieve the goal of the organization. So when we are talking about budget and time, there also the decision was taken while giving you the time and the budget. So here it is important to achieve the goal. For that, the decisions have been taken so that you can achieve the goal of the organization, that too within the deadline and with the budget being allocated to you. Second says searches for the best alternative. Now, when we are working towards achieving the goals, so it always searches for the best possible alternative which they can select. So if they have five different alternatives, they are going to evaluate all the alternatives. They are going to see pros and cons of all the alternatives, and then seeing the one which is going to best fit their objective, best fit their goal, they are going to select that alternative and they are going to implement that. So it searches for the best possible alternative. It utilizes the resources properly. Decision making is something which focuses on utilizing both human as well as financial resources properly. Now, it take into consideration that we are not wasting any of our financial resource as well as the human resource. We won't be allocating two different persons on the same task, which so they utilize all the available, don't waste anything. So for that also they need to decide not taking the decision. What will they might be overused or they might make I am extremely sorry for getting disconnected in between. Extremely sorry for that. Yeah, so we are back with the topic. So the first objective which we were discussing was achievement of goals and objective. And this last point was satisfy the duty of the manager that they satisfy the employee. So for satisfying the employee at workplace, they need to take various different decisions. Like they need to decide on their working hours. They need to decide that they are not overburdening their employees. Along with that, they also need to decide that how they'll be rewarding them, how they'll be motivating them, what all things are going to act as a motivation source for them. So all these things they need to decide, they need to consider, and they need to implement those things. So here, achievement of goals and objective, all these things play a very important role, because employees are the only person who will help the organization to achieve the goals. So for their benefit, for making a happy workplace, for making a friendly culture, for making a good atmosphere, the decisions need to be taken. Now, first was achieving the goals of the organization, for achieving the goals and objectives. Now, second says employee motivation. Motivation as in with companies' policies, job security, pay and benefit. All these things act as a motivation force for employees in the organization. It is again a very challenging thing for the management to come up with the decision of setting some ground rules which can motivate their employees, because we know that motivated employees are going to increase the productivity, and the employees who are not motivated, they never come up with their best possible productivity. So employee motivation is very important. Now, in employee motivation, it says that it provides an overall framework of operation and guidelines to the operating staff. Now, everything is made very clear that this is the framework, this is how the organization is going to work, this is how the operating staff need to work, the guidelines, their framework, everything has been made very clear, very specific, and on papers it is same for everyone. There's no change. Like if we say that the working hours are going to be from 9 to 5, that is going to be same for everyone. That is not going to be like for superior, it is 9 to 3, for others, it is 9 to 5. There is going to be similarity. For these things, they need to take into consideration everything, all the smallest to smallest and biggest to biggest point, while framing out the guidelines and the rules. Second, it provides different type of facilities and benefits on time. The decision here need to be taken related to the facilities and the benefits which we will be providing to them. So now what type of facilities, what type of benefits we will be providing to them, that is again a different question. Like here, for motivating them, they may come up with the recognition like employee of the week, best performer of the month. They can come up with that. They can come up by giving them some kind of gift vouchers. They can come up by giving them some kind of promotion if they are eligible, if they have proved by their work. So these are all the facilities, the benefits which they need to decide for the motivation of the employees. Third is, as a result, employee feel motivated at work and increases productivity. Like we have already discussed that when the employee is motivated, the productivity is going to increase, the time consumption is going to decrease, that there is going to be effective utilization of the time as well as the resources also. So motivation and productivity both work hand in hand. If motivation goes up, productivity goes up. If motivation goes down, productivity will automatically go down. So these all things affect the motivation of the employees, and it is going to increase both motivation as well as the productivity of the employees. Now, third says proper utilization of resources. This we have discussed in the definition itself, that yes, proper utilization of resources need to be there. Now, what type of resources? There are many resources like man, money, material, information, method, all these resources should be utilized properly. Money, men, the budget comes, for man budget comes. Material, if we have material, we have ordered some material. So it should be utilized properly. There should be minimum wastage of the raw material which we are having. The method which we are adopting, that should be used properly, because someone has taken a lot of time to design a specific method. So that should be done properly. Market should be utilized properly, like when to promote, where to promote, which market we should capture, which audience, which target customers we are going to capture. So that thing should be done. Information should be used properly. So it says that the utilization of these resources should be done properly. There should be no chance of leakage and wastage with the help of right decision at right time. If you are taking the right decision at right time, you can stop all the wastage. Like you can stop the wastage of raw material, you can stop the wastage of funding, the budget, you can stop the wastage of manpower when you're allocating them the right job to be done at right time. So resources like these play a very important role. Along with that, when the proper utilization of the resources is there is going to be no wastage and no chance of any leakage. Third is organization can operate at a minimum cost. Yes, when we are organization is having a set budget. But now when we are utilizing the manpower properly, when we are making the best possible utilization of the material, when we are working within the budget and we are trying to save from that budget, then all these things are going to reduce the cost. And when the cost of the organization is reduced, the profit of the organization is increased, it is ultimately going to affect you only. It is going to be a good thing for you, because that thing which they are saving, that they will be utilizing on you, that they'll be using for the benefit of the organization, for the benefit of its employees only. So it is going to reduce the cost. Selecting the best alternate. We are having 5 different alternate. As a picture suggests, we have many solutions for one problem. So if I give you one problem as in our brand is not getting promoted properly, the marketing of our brand is not done properly. That is the very big problem, a challenging problem too. Now, I want all of you to come up with a solution, that all these possible solutions can help us to promote our brand, to market our brand. So now when you will be thinking, we have a lot of people in the team, right? Maybe 10 people. So we may come up with 10 or more than 10 different ideas, because all are from marketing team, all are specialized in this field. So all will have a creative mind. So now I have received ideas, and we can come up with some gift vouchers, we can come up with some kind of competitions, we can come up with the big promotions on hoardings, we can come up with some extra benefit, we can come up with membership offer, we can come up with vouchers. We have received all these solutions, so many solutions. Now, for which solution you should say right, for which solution you should say no, because there are many problems. The thing is, if you're going to select one possible selection, what about other selection? The people will say that, why not me? So you have to keep into mind all the things. You'll ask all of them to come up with all the possible pros and cons of your solutions. And then evaluating all those things, seeing the market trend, we are going to select the one best possible solution for that problem, to solve that problem. So again, from many, you have to select just one. By using financial, statistical, and accounting tools and techniques, best alternative can be selected. Now, techniques as in your accounting techniques, your human resource technique, your management techniques, all these techniques, your skills you can use, your financial, statistical, and accounting tools you can use to select one best possible alternative for that specific problem. So this is selecting the best alternative. Now, evaluation of the managerial performance. We studied about employee motivation. This evaluation criteria also motivates the employees. This is one of the one of the measure we can take to motivate our employees in the organization. So evaluation of the organization, is it a 2-star, 3-star, or 5-star? Whenever we go to McDonald's or we go to big malls, there we are also evaluating the performance of the person who is billing, right? The person who is on the billing counter. They always ask for the feedback. So it is kind of evaluation we are doing, that yes, the service was good, they have attended us properly. So it's a feedback for them. But all those feedbacks will be considered by the management, and they will be evaluating the final performance of their employees, of the managers. First, it is also important for evaluating the performance of the manager. Now, not just the performance of the team members, performance of the followers, the performance of the manager should also be evaluated from time to time. Now, how the performance of the manager is evaluated? Like, they are the superior. No one is identifying, no one is keeping a track, no one is watching them on regular basis. So how the management performance is evaluated? So the success and the quality of the manager depend upon the number of right decisions he or she has taken. So it completely depends upon the decisions you are taken. They are going to evaluate that in last 1 year, you have come up with maybe uh, 20 big decisions, and out of your 20 big decisions, 19 decisions were a hit, or only 5 decisions worked, right? 15 were of no use. So on basis of the decisions you have taken, and basis of the success and the quality of the decision, success we have received, the goals we have achieved on basis of the decision you have taken, the quality we have improved, on basis of all these things, your performance, the performance of the manager is going to be evaluated. So for evaluating the performance of the manager, all these things play a very important role. The right decision on the right time, the quality of the decision, the success of the decision, the end result of that decision together evaluates the performance of the manager. Third point says it is important to judge the performance of top manager. Why it is important to judge the performance of top manager is not just the employees, even managers are the person working in the organization. They also need to be motivated, right? So for motivating them, it is important to evaluate their performance. Without evaluating their performance, we cannot motivate them. We cannot come up with the conclusion that yes, this person is someone who has given the best performance. Let me just reward you. So for rewarding, for appraisal, we need to evaluate the performance, and even top management also need that motivation to come up with more best possible alternatives when they are working. Next point, indispensable element. It is an indispensable element, as without taking right decision at right time, nothing can be performed as per plan. If your decision goes wrong, if your timing of the decision is wrong, if either of the things are wrong, you won't be able to perform as per plan. For example, there is a college fest in next month. The first week of next month, you are having a college fest. So for that, you need to start your planning right now. You need to book the things right now. If you think that it's in the first week of August, we can start the preparation by last week of July. You are going to land yourself into the problem, and nothing is going to work, because for fest you need to organize so many things. By the last week of July, you should be ready with all the things, all the bookings, all the arrangements, all the planning, all the agenda should be ready, because in the last week you will have many little things to be done, like invitations, arranging the thing, bringing them into sequence, planning, making a proper agenda. All these things will require time. So the decision should be taken on the right time, that yes, we're going to start from next week, and it should be the right decision also. For example, you're having 3 weeks, but this week your exams are going on, and if the decision is taking that this week only we are going to start working for the fest, That is going to be a wrong decision, right? Because right now all the students are busy with the exam preparation. So it should be right decision as per the right timing. The timing should also be right when you're taking the decision. Second, it keeps employees motivated to take the right decision. When you're seeing that the decisions are taken right, it's improving our performance, we are working as per the plan, so it is going to motivate the employees also. The last importance of decision making is pervasive function. It aims at achieving organizational goal. Its main aim is to achieve the goal of the organization. Whatever we are deciding, we have some aim. Why we are doing that? There is some reason for doing that. So for this, its aim is to achieve the goal of the organization. Second, in all managerial functions or functional areas, decisions are to be taken. Now, managerial function as in production, marketing, manufacturing, in all these managerial functional areas, like function area like accountancy, your leadership, you're getting the things done on time. So all these areas, in all the areas, human resource, finance, budgeting, all different areas, the decisions are to be taken. The decisions are related with each and every function and each and every functional area in the organization. So for all those things, you need to take right and timely decision to achieve the goal of the organization within the time frame. And third point says it indicates that decision making is spread over many areas in organization. All the areas, in many areas, as in almost all the areas in the organization, need to take decision at some or every stage of the work. Now, for example, if we talk about the manufacturing unit, they need to take decision regarding a lot of things. How many quantity need to be produced, what is the market demand, what is the amount of quantity we can produce. If the market demand is exceeding, do we need to increase the production? If we need to increase the production, we need to buy extra raw material. So for buying extra raw material, then we are buying more than what we were supposed to, we used to buy earlier. So there should be some price negotiation. So they'll again go for getting the quotation from different dealers. Once they receive the quotation, they will compare all the quotation. They will decide which quotation to be used. So for taking one decision, for just increasing the productivity, just because market demand is increasing for our product, one has to go with different small decisions to achieve the biggest decision. The biggest decision was to increase the productivity. Now, for that purpose, many small decisions were taken by the organization to achieve their goal. So it is all about achieving the goal of the organization, that too using the resources properly, optimum utilization of resources, along with the optimum utilization of their human power, manpower. So considering all these things, they come up with the right decision on right time to make the working of the organization smooth, to keep the employees motivated, to achieve the goal of the organization, and to reward the managers from time to time. So this was all about the decision making, the importance of decision making. Any doubts related to this, you can drop in the chat box in the comment section. If no, then we are done with the session. And in the next session, that is very important, we are going to discuss about your happiness, the happiness which is lost in the race of running behind our goals, our career, money, fame, luxury, the happiness which is lost. So we will be starting our next session at 9:50, and the topic is going to be increase your happiness. That's all for today's session. See you at 9:50. Bye-bye. Take care. If you have any doubts, you can anytime write it in the chat box and I'll get back to that.